Is there anything cozier than a candlelit Saturday morning with chamomile tea and Taylor Swift playing in the background and nothing to do but read? No, I don't think there is. That's pretty much the peak. Okay, I am so into this book. I just finished part 1 and it ended on such an intriguing cliffhanger. No time to talk, gotta keep reading. This book is just on a whole other level. Like, the characterization in this book, every single person is so real and so sympathetic and so awful. I mean, not all of them are awful. The main character, Mira, I love her, but like, her boss, Alex, is awful in so many ways, but also you so deeply feel for her. This writer, Kiley Reid, is giving me like Celeste Ng vibes in the way that she can bring these people to life so well. And each one of them like even has their own little subtle speech patterns. Like, she must study people so intently to bring people to life this much. I'm just absolutely loving it. I feel like I have so much I want to talk about in this book. I don't even know where to start with. So a lot of this book is about race and privilege and bias. And what Kiley Reid is doing such a good job of is when she portrays things from like the white privileged characters' perspectives, it's this really uncomfortable mix of, I find as a white reader that I am relating to them, and that like my first instinct almost is to feel sorry for them. So when they do something wrong, they say something wrong, my first instinct is to feel bad for them and be like, oh god, we've all been there, but you don't really mean it. And then I have to stop and question myself of like, have we all been there? Or is it just the privileged people who've all been there, and is it because of our unconscious biases? Or, you know, that's like at worst, at best, it's literally because we've never had to think about this stuff before, so that's why we've all been there. And it doesn't mean that they're villainized. She does do an amazing job of portraying their perspective and showing them as people who didn't mean to cause harm and like are just humans with hearts and good intentions of their own, but also really, really pointing out the gaps in their perspective. I just want to talk about this book with everyone. I've already decided I'm gonna have to pick this book next time it's my turn to choose for my book club that I do with my friends. I'm definitely gonna pick this one because we will have so many conversations come out of it. I'm pretty much exactly halfway through. I'm still in my pajamas because I cannot tear myself away from the sofa and this book. I basically have all day dedicated to reading, but I do have a few plans this weekend. So Arj and I in general have been like, just trying not to do much, not to go anywhere, as you've seen. But this afternoon I am going over to my friend's garden to sit in the garden and have some drinks, which were really nice. And tomorrow I do have some friends coming here to our garden. I had originally arranged to have a video chat with loads of my uni friends, but 2 of them who live nearby are going to come over, and then we're all going to sit in the garden and do the video chat together, which will be nice. The rest of the weekend is fully dedicated to reading, and at the rate I am getting through this book, I think I'll be finished with this one soon. I probably will still be in my pajamas by the time I finish this book. Oh my god, and just read my favourite description of female friendship in this, a moment where they're trying to help one of the friends take a sexy photo for her boyfriend. So they have one girl taking the photo, another girl holding a light up, and the other girl holding her tits up. It's so brilliant, it's so true.
His hands don't quite fit me, we talk, it don't call me.
Oh my god, this is all coming to a head. This is such drama and I love it. Brief interlude. I'm tidying up Arjy's hair. You may have seen I was the last person to cut his hair too. I didn't do a stellar job.
Have you made everything more?
No, it's fine. Yeah, no, it's fine. There you go.
Thank you. I don't know what's happened.
It's so scary. I think I tidied it a bit.
Seems endless.
There is just like so much to analyze in this book, and I don't even know what I'm supposed to think, like who I'm supposed to trust. Basically, like, none of the white people could be trusted, and not because they're evil. Like, they all are good people in their hearts, like they all have good intentions, but I just feel so uncomfortable with all of them and all the decisions they're making and what their real motivations are. And it's all about centering themselves, and it's just very uncomfortable reading because I relate to a lot of it. I notice a lot of it in the things that I do as well, and the ways that I try to better myself. Ugh, this book is so good. I am so glad I'm reading it. We have this really interesting dynamic now of these two white people in the main character's life who don't trust each other and are kind of accusing each other of implicit racism but failing to see it in themselves. And it's really interesting because I see so much of that, pointing out other people's racism and any kind of problematic behaviour that we see in other people, pointing it out and thinking that that makes us more woke rather than pointing it out as a way to further all of our education. It's just interesting. It is so nice having lazy weekend days sometimes, but at the same time, I mean, not to sound like that dick, but just because I usually am more active, when it's coming up to 1 and I have not left the house or done the exercise, my Fitbit is on like just over 1,000 steps and I'm about to eat a plate of pizza, I do start to feel a little gross. Gross but content. Time to catch up on some Reading Rush vlogs with my pizza. I haven't yet watched a single other person's Reading Rush content and I have such a long watch later list and I am excited to dive in.
The emptiness seems endless.
The whole family's here. We're all reading this book together.
I'm leaving now before
Every time she made a looking noise, I looked to you.
Did you?
Yeah.
I didn't even notice. There's also a really interesting character in this book who is the white boss's, one of her best friends, who is this very wealthy, privileged black woman, and her perspective on things is really interesting because she seems to have so much like internalized racism as well, and I feel like I can't speak to that well, but the equivalent I kind of think of is I do know white women who have, achieved a lot of success in their lives and managed to not be too affected by sexism themselves, and then therefore actually perpetuate sexism against women like further down the ladder than them. So this feels, I guess, like the equivalent of that. Oh my god, I'm so uncomfortable. It's all happening. This is so tense. Oh my god, I was not predicting this line coming. So I finished it. This was absolutely incredible. Like one of the best books I've ever read in terms of character development, of just real feeling people, and so much to think about. Like, I can't believe I'm in a readathon right now because this is the kind of book that I want to just sit and think about for days. But actually, I'm on the clock, I'm gonna start reading the next book. But oh my goodness, a 5-star book. I'm so pleased that I read this. I'm definitely gonna have to read it again. I want to read it and like make loads and loads of notes. Definitely gonna pick it for a book club because there's so much to talk about. I don't actually know, because I wasn't paying attention, what it means, the fact that this is the group book for the Reading Rush. I don't know if there's like a live show chat or if it's just like on the website there's a forum or something, so I'll have to go check it out because I definitely want to hear other people's thoughts about it. But definitely the best book I've read so far this week, and that means I've collected another badge. I've now collected the Moonstone badge. 5 down, 2 to go. I have another hour before I'm setting off to see my friends, so I could start reading a book straight away, but I think I'm just going to give myself like a little hour off. I'm going to start reading the Aosawa murders on the train, and until then I'm just going to like push around, do some chores and try and get my step count up above 1,000 would be a good place to start.
It's been a good day, now it's time for us to celebrate.
Guess what face I'm making?
Smiling.
No, I was doing a grimace. Now you do one. You are smiling. Also, that's the face I was first making.
This is what happens when Hippo hears me hiccuping.
When Archie gets hiccups, Hippo gets really freaked out and she lies on the ground and won't move, so I have to carry her.
And then my hiccups make her eyes go really wide. She's also licking a lot. She's a very stressed little thing.
You're a baby.
See, she looks away. She looks away when I hiccup.
She doesn't like it.
Oh, you see? That's direct proof right there. She was walking just fine and I hiccuped and then she stopped.
Okay, I'm back home and a little tipsy and barely got anywhere with the book. I only have 1 day left and basically two full books left to read, which is obviously not gonna happen, especially as I have people coming around to sit in our garden for lunch. So do I just stay up all night? Like, what's the plan here? Archie still has hiccups. Just had a great result. So I posted a poll on my Instagram asking if you guys would prefer me to do 2 more daily vlogs like I've been doing, or pause tomorrow and then do a bumper weekend vlog that I'll upload on Monday. And you guys voted for that one, which is a great result because that's what I was hoping for, because it means I don't have to edit and schedule and upload and make a thumbnail and everything. Tonight I can just go to bed. And you guys are so sweet. So many people sent me messages being like, which would you prefer? Would it make your life easier to do the weekend one? And yes, it would, and it has. So great result. I'm gonna brush my teeth now and go to bed and get ready to read 2 whole blooming books tomorrow. Impossible, some might say, but you haven't met me.
What do I have to say to keep you back by my side?
Morning. I'm so sleepy. I had so many weird dreams last night. And like so much waking up in the night and then going back to sleep again. Just feel groggy. But it's time to start reading. My friends are coming around in like an hour and a half. So I guess I'll just read non-stop till then.
I don't wanna let you down. It's the only thing I think about every morning. You know my life ain't figured out.
You guys, motivation is waning. I just feel like taking a nap, putting the TV on, getting out a colouring book, doing anything other than reading for another second. I love how arrogant I was literally less than 24 hours ago when I was like, you think I can't finish 2 books in one day? You haven't met me. Okay, you have met me and I obviously can't finish 2 books in one day. I can't even finish 1. So instead of keeping on racing to finish those books, I've decided to make Archie play a very long board game with me.
Hello.
Good decisions all around. I lost by like 2 points, classic Archie. But now we're still procrastinating from reading. I've decided now is the perfect time to reorganize my entire food cupboards, which are a complete mess.
The only thing I figured out, 'cause everything else in my life without you would be boring, and we'll spend nights, cheap red wine, look at flat.
I guess I'll read a book now. I'm now like 3/4 of the way through this book and I just don't think it's that good. I'm just not enjoying it that much. It like feels like it's almost really clever. So it's basically a murder. I don't think I've told you anything about this book. A murder happened in the 70s in this big house in Japan where 17 people were poisoned with cyanide in their drinks that had been delivered to them, and they all died. And we're now like 30 years after that. The murder was never really solved. Like a main suspect was suspected, but then he killed himself, so it was never all confirmed. And we're now like hearing different testimonies from different people. We don't know who is doing the investigating or who's asking the questions. It all just feels very like detached and impersonal. Like I don't feel like I know any of the characters. It's a long way in to feel detached from them. It's like the exact opposite of Such a Fun Age that I read yesterday until I had like the best characterization of any book I'd read recently. It's the complete opposite. There is only one character in this whole book that so far I find interesting at all, and we don't get to spend much time with her because we're like constantly going between different people. So it feels like it should be really clever. If maybe it's that I'm not paying attention enough. Like possibly if I was paying a lot of attention, I would be coming up with loads of theories and picking up on different clues and piecing them together. But as it is, I'm not finding any of that. And it's just, I so wanted to like it. It's such a cool premise. It's a cool cover. It's a cool name. Like I just really wanted to like it. But I'm just bored, you know, I'm just like waiting for this to be finished. And I feel like it's going to be one of those books where you get to the end and it's all still left ambiguous. Like there is going to be no answer about the murders, which would make sense and would be fitting for this book, but will also be a massive waste of my time. I don't mind ambiguous endings, but for an ambiguous ending to be good, the journey has to be worth it. And this is just a winding long road that I wish I wasn't on. Okay, finished, and I don't understand it at all. It had this ending that was obviously supposed to be revealing something, like all of these clues suddenly get dropped and it's supposed to be some big twist, but I honestly have no idea. Zero. Like I need to go and Google this and hopefully someone has explained it, because that meant nothing to me. That one is going in the recycling box. And by recycling I mean charity box. This is our charity box of books that we're waiting until our charity shop opens back up so I can take them. Okay, well that's a really disappointing note to end on because I actually thought that book was shit, and that's 6 books down. I really want to get to 7. I'm clearly not going to read The Vanishing Half. It is now basically 8 o'clock. I have to make us some dinner. I'm not going to read a full, like, chunky hardback book. But I wonder if I have a really small... I don't have anything short enough on my TBR, I've checked. My shortest book is The Harpy, but that's still like 200 pages. But maybe I could reread like a graphic novel or something. All I need now is a book that starts with the word the. Okay, I've got it. I'm going to reread this, The Last Hedgehog. It's going to take me 5 minutes and then I will have ticked off 7 books. And I had to do it. I'm a completist. Is that a word? A completist? A finisher? I'm a trooper. I wanted to get all 7, okay? Bear with, I'm gonna do this right now. So look how cute this book is. I love it so much. It's got such sweet little illustrations. It's about the last hedgehog in the world. Farewell, farewell, for what it's worth, from the final hedgehog left on Earth. It's such a sad little book, but it's really cute. It's about the last hedgehog on Earth and how he's gonna die, and it's all our fault because we didn't look after hedgehogs. But that has little tips to make your garden more hedgehog friendly. We have a garden now, so maybe I'll go and check that we're doing all these tips. I love hedgehogs. So I did it! 7 books in 7 days. Well, 6 books and 1 short story. 5 novels, 1 little poem book and 1 short story, and all 7 prompts complete. Let me quickly round up all the books I read and we'll do a quick wrap up. So if you've been following along with all the vlogs, you'll already know what I read, so I'm going to keep it short, especially because I will do reviews of these in my Balancing the Books video, which will come up pretty soon, like next week. I forget how close we are to the end of the month, but as just like a quick fire review, I read The House Without Windows for the book that I read fully outside, and I really enjoyed it. I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5. Very strange little book, but delightful. I read Of Murder, Muses and Me for the first book that I touched on that Monday morning, and again this was a 4-star. Really good fun. Again, very strange, strangely written. Then I read a short story for a book that inspired a movie. I read Story of Your Life by Ted Chiang, which inspired the movie Arrival. And I watched Arrival just before the reading rush started, so that was perfect. And I actually liked the short story even more than I liked the movie. Really good fun. Definitely going to read the rest of the stories in this collection soon. For a book from a genre you want to read more of, I read The Psychology of Time Travel. Another 4-star. These were all 4 stars so far. Really fun, quirky, time travel, genre bending, romantic mystery story, just like so much fun. Big recommend. Then I read Such a Fun Age for a moonstone coloured book, and this was a 5-star. This was absolutely incredible. Definitely the best book I read of the week, and like one of the best books I've read of this year. I have so much to say about this book. I almost like want to make a whole video just about it. Read it. Read it, read it, read it. If I could recommend one book, it would be this one. Then, as you just saw, for a book set on a different continent, I read the Aosawa Murders, and I didn't like it at all, so not much more to say about that. And then I read The Last Hedgehog for a book starting with The, which is absolutely adorable, little climate change, animal conservationist poem, and it's very cute. So that's 7 books, 7 challenges, 7 videos in 7 days. 6 vlogs, technically because I skipped one, but if you then count my Reading Rush TBR, which I did at the beginning, that's 7 videos. That was my first time taking part in the Reading Rush in years. The last time I did it was 2016 when it was still called Booktubeathon, and this was so much fun. I'm so glad I finally took part. Every year since then I've been watching everyone else's vlogs and feeling FOMO, but I did it. I did it! And now, I'm so glad it's over. Firstly because while I love making these vlogs, it is exhausting having to film yourself every single day for a week, so I'm thrilled to wake up tomorrow and not turn the camera on, and also it means I can catch up with my super long watch later playlist and watch everyone else's amazing Reading Rush content. And on that note, if you made Reading Rush vlogs, do leave me a comment below with the link, because I will definitely go and watch them. And I will see you guys soon. I'm off to pass out forever.